Blessings on deck. Getting money inside my pocket. It's always a vibe, yeah, we cashing out. Ain't chasing no clout, we just flex. Man, then go and big up your chest. Rocking from east to the west, you know, yeah, you know. So call up all them girls, with the big things. We about to shut things down, oh yeah. And shout out all my boys, doing big things. We gonna turn up in this place, so they do. They do. Turn up in this place, so they do.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a very beautiful, amazing Wednesday morning, Super Celebrity Wednesday, right here on the Garden City, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. Family Love 97.7. Okay, 977 ways to celebrate a Nigerian superstar. That's exactly what we do on the morning show every Wednesday morning. All right, we celebrate Nigerian stars, and some way, somehow, we like it when it's from Phcity, right? You know why? They say charity begins from home, right there. Okay, this morning I'm back on the radio. They call me world famous Lagos born, Abuja, Port Harcourt City representative, aka Olalekon Da O'Square. Are you ready to go this morning? Obi Beski is back on the radio. They call me the king of the radio. And you know what this morning? Well, I'll be taking you a little bit way back in time. I remember back then on Port Harcourt radio, in the year 2005, there were two Duncans on radio. There was a Duncan Mighty and there was a Duncan Daniels. One was Afro hip hop with a fuse of Niger Delta style. The other one was completely rock superstar. It's still alive, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, he left the country, left PH for the United States of America, but he's come around. You know why? He had to come bury Phcity. So first and foremost, I would say, I'm so sorry you lost your dad. Duncan Daniels in the building this morning on Family Love Super Celeb Wednesday. Good morning.
Area.
Good morning.
Phcity, what's up?
That's it.
Purple Haze City, what's up?
That's it.
Home of Tuck Tight, what's up? Home of the Large Records, what's up?
I'm a Bonner boy. Home to the Grammys, baby.
Home to the Grammys, what's up? Yeah, I'm in town, man, and there's no way I had to come because Family Love FM has been showing me love. I know, like, I've been out in the States and I've been promoting music permanently in the States, but anything I drop, you know, Love FM always plays it. So I said, there's no way I'm not gonna come out here and see my family out here.
That's it.
And O Squared, you know, DJ Dean, you know, come out here and really like come on air and say something, you know.
That's it.
So I'm glad you guys are having me over.
That's it.
For this.
Okay, so Love FM is family. First and foremost, accept our very, very huge sympathy, condolences, the fact that you lost your dad. Hope you're good.
Yeah, we just, you know, completed all the funeral, you know, and it was a very long process, and you know, sometimes tough. It was very long, you know, and sometimes tough, but I'm glad I was able to get through it. You know, it's done, you know, so life goes on. You know, we take on the mantle and we move the dynasty forward. You know,
that's right. When you remember Phcity, what do you remember?
And guy was just, you know your typical Nigerian father, always trying to make you independent and, you know, not supporting your music, but, you know, still loving you and stuff. But, you know, I value all the things I learned from him. We weren't as close as, you know, lots of folks, you know, or as I would have liked. But I know later on, you know, before he passed, we started building that, you know, relationship again, you know, like building it better. So, you know, I wish we had more time. I was going to fly him over to the States this August, you know, to spend some time and enjoy a little bit. But this happened, and, you know, it's God's will. So, you know, his plan is always the best. But he's lived long, you know, so we celebrated his life. You know, he was over 70, so 70 is the minimum that we are promised, right? So, he passed that. So it's a celebration of life as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't get it twisted. 97.7 in the Garden City, Port Harcourt. Olalekon Da O'Square, the king of the radio, chilling this morning, okay, with a superstar, Nigerian superstar artist, Duncan Daniels, on Superstar Super Celebrity Wednesday. Duncan Daniels. When I remember Duncan Daniels, I remember that young Port Harcourt boy that just wanted to put his name on the map. I remember that young Port Harcourt boy that just wanted to get on the map in the history of music making, EPH. I remember that determined artist that felt like, okay, I don't want to sound like every other person. I just want to do my thing and be myself. And in terms of being natural, you were there. Whichever way it was then, when you play a song from Duncan Daniels, you will know that this was Duncan Daniels. So, what do you remember? 2005, the music industry PH, when it actually started, the game kicked off in PH on a full scale. What do you remember?
Well, I remember, opposite Presidential Hotel. It's funny, I just went past there this morning, and it's just giving me some nostalgic vibes. The Large Records was where everybody was at. You had me, Duncan Daniels, you had Duncan Mighty, you had Frank De Niro, and then every other artist in Port Harcourt would come there to get their music produced or mixed or mastered. And then when artists come in to perform like Two-Face and Plantation Boys at the time, they come to P Square, they come to Port Harcourt for shows. Everybody stops at the Large Record to get their show mixes done prior to going on air, going on stage. So it was just a wonderful time. Nobody was thinking about even money. So we were just happy doing what we love doing, which is making music. We just made music 24 hours, 7 days a week. That was all we did. The scene then, we had so many artists in Port Harcourt, but it just wasn't, even the music in general, Nigerian music wasn't what it is today, or what it is. We pioneered that. It's just that some of us were a little bit ahead of our time in terms. So many artists like, Mac G, Double K that goes by Vocals now, Lyrical that goes by Avid now. Those artists were like crazy good rappers and all that, but they were before their time. So by the time this digital age kicked in, a lot of stuff just moved, and I just feel like, some of these artists kind of fell back on, they're still there, they're still making their music, but, it just did not blow the way I would have loved. But I still feel like we should pay homage to some of these pioneers, Specimen A, all these artists that most of these youngins don't even know about today. We kind of like built this industry, this O'Square, you were there now, so you were there, you saw it all. We kind of built this industry, and sometimes it's nice that people remember where you are because of what happened and things that have been done in the past. Victor E-Tracks, I actually just saw Raleigh yesterday, Kumbuye Sinclair, Fairface. These are producers from back in the day. They're all doing one thing or the other now.
If you take a look at the names you mentioned, what the industry was like back then, and you compare to right now, would you say that we're meeting up? Would you say it's better? Would you say that it would have been better having those set of guys right now? I don't know. Your personal perspective.
I think it would have been better having a mix of both. The industry as a whole, though, like on a global scale, when I say Afrobeats, is huge now. It's even huge overseas. So huge that even the white folks are trying to make money off of it now, which is a good thing. If it was some of those caliber of artists that were here in this time, oh man, it's people were so unique back then. Like now, it's like everything sounds almost similar, except I can call a few artists here that have their own distinct style. For instance, like my guy, Bobby Ediro, we actually did a record together not too long ago that dropped. We actually played it on this FM as well, and is doing well globally even. Artists like that, they have their own defined sound. They actually bringing a movement behind their sound. Those are the kind of artists that I like to listen to. I like to work with. Some artists that just sound like everybody else. You just fall in the cracks. I can say maybe Dan Dizzy, Idahams, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And then one of my guys, Ajebo Hustlers. Yeah, they're dope too. Omale, and then one other guy I'm trying to call that works with Adasa, Wonder Banton. Yeah. So some of these folks coming out from Port Harcourt, I think they have a lot. They're gonna blow very, very time soon. Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still chilling with the superstar right there, Duncan Daniels, and we have a lot to talk about. By the way, moving to the States, what preempted that? What prompted that? Did you just wake up in the morning? Was it detailed? Was it pre-planned?
Well, I was born in the States, so I've always been a U.S. citizen. But by design, I happen to have moved here, just by design. And at a point, I felt it was time to go back and take advantage of the opportunities that I could get there. I was so deep into my art of music production, so I wanted to learn everything I could about being a professional music producer and engineer. So, I went and attended one of the best schools for that. I was at Berklee College of Music in Boston, which is, you have the likes of Quincy Jones, so many really Grammy Award winners that went to that school. So I figured this is where I wanted to go and master my craft. So I took the opportunity as a citizen. I went over and, I got my admission and I got my training. And then when I was done, the sky was the limit. I moved to New York. I got signed to Interscope. That's the same label with Eminem and Dr. Dre. But I got signed as a music producer. So I was working more in the studio as an engineer. And I was doing that for about a year plus for my first contract. So time to renew my contract. I decided not to because of my experience with working in the big labels. It's all hype and glam, but the kind of contracts they were signing then, it just was not. It didn't show long-term value for the work benefit. So then I decided, okay, I'm going to do my music independently, still under Donkey's Rock, but I'm going to try to also not put my eggs in just this one basket. I'm going to do other things so that I can make money, I can be successful, and still be able to do what I do. So I got into healthcare, and I've built that side of me. Now I'm a very top person in the healthcare field. I work with a lot. I'm not a doctor myself, but I work on the other side of medicine that deals with the workflows and running of the hospital, and more software, IT processes, government processes, things like that. So that's what I do outside of the music. But I still make music. I'm dropping music every day. I have a video shoot on Saturday. I have new music coming out in 2 weeks. I have music that I had with Bobby Edirole that is playing now. Maybe we'll talk about that soon and as well. So yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned something very important. That's about the career of an artist away from the music. For example, diversification. You've been able to find another career for yourself, not just depending on music 100%. But that's a problem with a lot of Nigerian artists. What's your perspective of that? Here, you have artists thinking that the only thing that will bring money for them has to be music from morning till night for the next 25 years. And it's a whole lot of problems. So your perspective on this?
It made me understand some of the things my parents, or I would say our parents in general, are trying to let us know that, music it's good if you're successful, but how many people make it in music? It's not easy. Sometimes it's just luck, pure luck, because you could do every single thing right. You could have the right marketing team, you could have the right sound, you could have, even sometimes you could even have the money invested from somebody that has a lot of money, and still you won't blow. So it's always good to have something in the back pocket to do. I will tell you, there's a fun thing about making music and not having to worry about anything. When I say worry about anything, Making music and not worrying about if it's going to blow, if you're going to make money. If you're just doing it because you love it. I think it brings out the best of your abilities because you're not thinking too much. You're not very worried. It's good to be worried though, but I've gone to a point where when I make music, I just make it. I can do whatever style I want to, and I just put it out there. And I'm not thinking, oh, is someone gonna buy it? So I just put it out there. The people that will like it will like it. They'll listen to it. If it blows, good. If it doesn't blow, it's fine. It's still there. Even if I die, person if you look Duncan Daniels up, you find my music. It's a different, happy place. I have my studio at my house, everything that I need to make music. I have my channels, I have my own distribution company, I have my own label. I even have my own promotion company that's separate from my music that I use also to promote myself and other artists internationally and here in the US. There are even so many other ways within the music industry that you can make money outside of just being an artist. You can be a writer, you can be a producer, you can be an influencer. Just think outside the box and, shore up yourself. So the worst thing any human being can be due to themselves is being a broke creative. You'll be as frustrated as hell. So you want to package yourself so that if that first thing that you're chasing doesn't pan out, right, you can still also be happy because other things that you've put together pan out as well.
Holiday, almost see this fine picking. She carry go pay. Myself, I want
Nigerian music, they say, has gone global. They say that you enter a club somewhere in the US and you blaze a Nigerian track, say it's Maya, P-Square, a Two-Face, and everybody's kicking to it. You drop a Burna Boy sound and everybody's loving it and all that. So how global is the brand of music we're pushing? That's one. Two, what's the acceptance like for Afro music, especially the songs from Nigeria?
The Euro market and US market is very, very difficult because, England is very small, so and it's way, way infiltrated by lots of Africans. America is a very, very, very huge, country that has, hotspots. You have New York, you have Miami, you have LA, and then you have those places where Nigerians are fully they plenty, like Houston, like DC, like Atlanta. So in those areas, where you have Nigerians that have been, patronizing African music for a very long time, even before it blew, those areas are sure. But you're talking about when you now start seeing Afro beats going into places like, Wisconsin, like Kansas, like Oklahoma, all these, majority white areas that people are not, so hip. And that's when you know that there is some movements, and that's what's happening now. We didn't have that before. The UK market has blown. Like any radio station that doesn't play Afrobeat is not considered mainstream. The US market only just recently started getting to that level. I mean, when Davido's Banana Fall, right? Banana Fall, and that song was played like every taxi cab. You be taxi, anything. You go in place. I went for Loud in Miami, and Davido was performing. It's Loud is like it's a concert that the Bob Marley's family throws every year. The one before the pandemic, I was there. And, I got to hang out with Davido backstage and all of them. But, man, the crowd, I could say, was 10% Nigerian. 10% Nigerian. It was white folks, Jamaican, all over the place. And they were singing every line. They were singing, when he off the mic and everybody starts singing.
How did that make that?
They were
singing.
singing.
How did that make you feel? How did that make you feel?
I was proud. I was so proud. And the funny thing is, Davido has been somebody that I've known way before they blew. Like at 2008, I used to work for a apparel label in Boston at the time, like street apparel. Remember that Obey shirt that used to be popular back then? The guy that made that shirt was my boss's friend. Like we had a company that started marketing that shirt. So at the time, I was friends with Obi Asika even before I left to Nigeria. So Obi Asika introduced me to Asa, his nephew, and we were talking about bringing business and stuff like. Because Asa has always been a business guy. So Asa would send me, there's this group that he is managing per se. So you send me Davido and what do they call it, the HKN. He'll send me those early work, Be Red. They were a group. They were individual. They were a group at the time, and they were small back then. They were very young. I'm like, I listen to it. I'm like, man, I say you have ear that this guy is, it's crazy. And this is. I remember when I was promoting my song with MI. I had a song called Like This MI that was a huge project. I was promoting it. 2009. I came to Lagos, and I saw Wizkid, but I remember I knew this guy. And then I remember that one time around 2006 or so, I was at OJB studio in Lagos. Baja, yes. I was with who was I with? I was with So Brecon. And some other guys at the time. Man, rest in peace, by the way, OJB. And I think Wizkid was at the gate. He was one of those guys that would try to come in the studio and, maybe try to put things, arrange things. And then I saw him again when I came back. I was at Ikechukwu and Nitosidi. They were shooting a music video. And I think LD was my friend already. So LD told me, come. So I came and I saw Wizkid, very skinny. I remember he's like, hey, God, you come back, blah, blah. And, to see that kid now where he's at is crazy. Same thing with Burna, how he started, so there is, and this is just the beginning. Now these big, Sony, Atlanta Records, EMI, those companies, they're now seeing the potential of the gold that we call Afrobeats, and they're investing in it. My only fear is that, how it always is when, so white people get involved in some things, they like to claim it as their own. They like to take over the monetary side of it. So I'm hoping that, and I know that Nigerians are smarter. So when they are coining out some of these deals, they coin out deals so that they carve out a large lion's share of things for themselves, so it doesn't get owned by them eventually.
Okay, don't get it twisted. 97.7 of the Garden City, Port Harcourt, Nigeria. This morning, Super Celebrity Wednesday. We're chilling with a Nigerian superstar, producer, artist, businessman, music businessman, Duncan Daniels, representing Port Harcourt right there in the United States of America. My name is O'Square, the king of the radio. Feels so good to be with Duncan this morning yet again after so many years. A long, long time ago. By the way, Duncan, what are you working on right now? What are your projects?
So, I had a huge project last year that I dropped. It was an album, a full album. It was the first time actually I was putting a full album with Afrobeats in it, because normally my sound is more rock and pop, and I mix them up,
Has it changed?
Well, I still make rock music, but I decided to, because now I have creative freedom. I don't even care. I just do whatever I want. So I was like, you know what? Let me put out, for the love of the culture, let me put out an full Afrobeats album. So I called it Afro Eclectic because it was Afrobeats, but it was very eclectic in sound. It wasn't just straightforward. It was different types of, sounds that you classify as Afrobeat. So I put that album out. I even got booked for some, festivals in the US. And then I put the album out on February 14th, 2020. And you all know what happened the week after. COVID just came. And in the US, it just crippled everything. So my push for it and all the things I had planned, I was going to go to London. I even actually had a song with Bobby from Specimen A on that record. I featured so many I was very particular about featuring Port Harcourt artists. I had Lyrical on the album. I had Mac G on the album. I don't know if you guys remember that This Jam song
course,
we got the jam, for this jam here. I featured Mac G on one of the dopest song on the album called Bedu. It's kind of like a fella type vibe. We kind of coined that. You go say I be lady, or we kind of coined that into a different word and used that as one of the refrains. And that song is really, really awesome. And I featured Lyrical on one of the other really good songs. I featured another girl called Lean Majesty Lean.
Okay.
She's up and coming too. I think she's moved to Lagos, but she's Port Harcourt based. So I featured a lot of artists on the album to give it a very diverse feel, but usually mainly PH folks. And the album is good, but I didn't have because of the COVID, I couldn't execute. So this year I was like, okay, instead of releasing another album, I'm going to start putting out singles. When I put those singles, I'll reference back to the album so people can listen to the single and then go back to the album, and then they're like, oh wow, there's a whole album out there like this, so they can listen to. So my first single for the year, I said, okay, I want to feature somebody different. Let me feature somebody different from Port Harcourt still. So one of my friends, actually, he's also been in the business side of things. Yewe, he used to be a singer back in the day and a rapper too. Exuzia was what he went by. So he was like, hit up Jerome now. Jerome he's managing some really dope artists like Jerome, Batubo, one of my friends from back in the day. So I was like, okay. So I messaged Jerome. I was like, your artist Bobby, can I get him on this record? He said, no problem. Just, send the record. Nothing, man. Before you know it, Papa, they already dropped the verse, man. As I heard the verse, I was like, chai, this jam sweet, oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? Our Bobby Ediril is in the building this morning. How you doing?
I been a musician, so.
Only you know musicians.
I make na we now.
Okay.
So the song "Fight for Your Love," man. We did the song. We packaged. It's like I'm a piano vibe. That popular vibe. And then I got some dancers in Tanzania. They came together, they did the dance, they made a music video of that dance. So we packaged it and we started promoting it digitally. But because I'm not on ground, it's a lot harder to promote music on ground. So the only other method that we can get across as many people is digital. So we now fired that track digitally, and that track has been played, used on so many Instagram videos, TikTok, all these things. The streaming capacity is and it keeps going. It gets popular by day. The song is really, really sweet. I hope they played it here now. They played it here a lot. DJ Dean, folks were playing it here. So I know Bobby is doing some major things too. Like his records are always hot. I have them on all my playlists. Anybody that's looking for new music, I send. It's like, have you heard this guy? Like, it's different too. And then the next single I did, I also featured another Port Harcourt guy, B Clef. I don't know if you guys know him. He used to be in Port Harcourt, but he's now in San Francisco area, like the Bay Area. The guy is gonna blow very soon. So I put him on a song called Quality. Really, really dope record. That song has been playing here too. And now I decided, let me just do one song where I no feature person. I just do my own thing. Very quick, simple summer vibe record that I can just shoot a video for and push out there. So the next record that I'm releasing on July 4th weekend, because it's Independence Day in America.
Okay.
So that will be a public holiday period. I can push it like that. I'm actually shooting the video for it. I'm shooting the video on Saturday. This Saturday, as I come back to the States, I'm shooting the video on Saturday. It's called Addicted to Love. All my songs they end for love. I don't know why. It's not why we're in Family Love FM.
Okay, that's exactly what we're doing. So we're waiting for Addicted to Love.
Yes.
And after that, more music.
More music.
More music.
More music.
More music.
It never stops. Never stops. I thought that when I'll become a father, it would slow me down.
So, you got one already, right?
Yes. My wife gave birth on January 24th.
Wow.
So, my daughter is, her name is Nivea, which is heaven, spelled backwards. Her Nigerian name is Nkiru.
I want to go with Nkiruka.
Yeah, Nkiruka. Nkiruka means, the best is still yet to come. So the future is bright. So, that's how I see it. The future is always bright as long as you do the right things and focus, and God is always in control.
Yes, just before we go, our Bobby and the Roll is in the building this morning. How you doing?
So now my whole lap now.
Oh, you lap? I don't say you lap now. Yeah, I lap past you. As I did say, I'm a chicken.
So now my you talking.
Okay, so what's up now? How you doing now?
Baba, we did now. Just do our thing. We just do our show finish. We just do other things. We won't drop album, we won't drop single, we won't drop plenty things. We don't know where to start from.
Let's say one drop or so.
Baba, like this, I don't even picture Duncan like this now.
Duncan, my team with Duncan Daniels.
Dunkish rock now.
You know, say Duncan, they're plenty for this.
So that Duncan, no my senior man yet now. I get one senior man, Duncan.
That nice one. But so the song you guys had, what was it like? What was the experience recording with Duncan Daniels with all of his experience?
Funny enough, that's the first time recording a song like that. I've been used to my normal, street vibes. So when I heard the song, I was like, oh my guy, we need to carry this on trend small. We don't do love. So I was like, I think it took me about 30 minutes or 40 minutes or thereabout to just do my verse sharp and send it back. Because it was about 12 bars or so, and I want to impress senior man, so I say, I run a sharp. Yeah, start.
Nice one. But I hope that you're also thinking about exporting your talent sometime pretty soon, so that just like Duncan said, the people abroad can also enjoy the vibe, the feel, that Port Harcourt vibe, and then we take it abroad.
Yeah. Right now, I'm trying to let's say modernize my sound. Right. So we are changing a lot of things right now. So I have a single coming up titled Senior Man. Okay. Now this sound is not my normal sound. Normal sound like Senior Man, with the normal Senior Man, but the sound is a bit different because I'm trying to mix my own. Like Senior Man said, Afrobeat is doing well out there, so I'm not really doing Afrobeat, but just take a little bit of it, add it together, do your own thing, you understand? So yeah, we are looking at exporting.
All right, okay, beautiful. Thank you so much, Duncan Daniels. We gotta go because of time. All right, your final shot for artists, younger ones coming up right here. A lot of them, you were like them back then, 2005. But we thank God today, 2021, 16 years after. Look at you today. Just look at you. Look at you. So say the nice to those guys.
See, just be true to yourself, and live in reality. Anything you do, be realistic about it. Don't live in a cloud. You would just not, I will tell you fact. Living in the clouds and shadows and all that stuff is not going to get you where you need to be. Anything you do, be realistic. Have a plan. Have a plan A, have a plan B, have a plan C, have a plan D. Yourself, have a plan up to Z. You want to always have backup. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because in life, at the end of the day, what matters is your happiness. So at the end of the day, when you're looking back and you'll say, okay, I'm happy, I'm satisfied, that's what matters.
Okay, thank you so much, Duncan Daniels. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been Love 97.7 Family Love Station. Hello Nigeria show. The morning show right there, Super Celebrity Wednesday. And today on the show, we'll feature the Nigerian superstar based abroad, Duncan Daniels. Duncan, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning.
O'Square, man, you're a legend, man. Thank you so much for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks a whole lot. Okay, Nigeria, see you on the next one. Next week, Wednesday, 10:05 in the morning. My name remains Olalekon Da O'Square, the the world famous Lagos born, Abuja tested, Port Harcourt City representative, aka the king of the radio. All right, ciao.
Light me up like a transformer. Never satisfied, got me wanting more.